All right, update. So, um, things I'm working on. I am trying to get into film, into videography more specifically, so I can do some stuff with the church, find myself a useful place to do things. I feel that videography is a good idea because doing market statistics, it turned out that 80 something, high 80s percentage of engagement starts with a video. And so being able to bring that to the church, I think is going to be valuable. Not just the church, but, any of the missions that in the future I might be able to get into, or, get my hands on helping from the background or whatever. I think video is going to be a really good idea. So I'm looking into pursuing that more fully. My doing things with my family. I've been praying pretty intensely for my dad, and I've got to have several conversations with him, and I'm learning more and more that as I'm having these conversations that he is pretty convinced that he is a Christian, as he's kind of pushed, hey, I was baptized and I know these answers. I really think there's going to be a day when it clicks for my dad, and Jesus Christ makes sense, and he's faced with the reality of who he has been in his life, and how that we are all broken people, and the things that we've done, even at our worst. God loved us at our worst, and I think Dave's gonna. I'm hopeful for the day to come when my dad receives Jesus, and even if he doesn't, I believe in God and His promises that, He loves us, and that He has what's best for us. They say the gates of hell are locked from the inside, which, I don't know, it doesn't seem biblical as far as like a theological apologetic, but it is definitely an interesting thought because of being able to say, hey, the people who choose the devil's hell, they have to really, really go that direction. They have to hate God in order for that to happen. Be presented with the truth and deny. And it's wild because I don't want to put it in a harsh way, but if my dad ends up in hell, which I am day and night, that is my prayer, that he does not, that he ends up giving his life to Christ fully. If he does end up there, it would be because he has decided against it. And it's kind of I guess I'm just putting my thoughts out there. I don't think that's the way it'll go, but again, me telling you what God's will is isn't really how things work. I do believe in the ability of the Holy Spirit to convict the heart of men, and point to Jesus Christ. So I do believe that will be the way things go, just because I am hoping for the best world. I love my father. He is a good man. I pray for truth and to really hit him in the face as hard as it needs to. My brothers are doing well. I get to spend some time with Richard, connecting with Richard, and being able to talk to him was pretty cool. And makes me really, really heartbroken for his wife. She's had problems with infertility and how many miscarriages they had to go through. Just, my heart is just, that being able to identify with that really, really changes the relationship, because you see how tough a person is, and you get to see how like resilient they are. And that was really cool to see of Ashley and Richard just getting to experience that. And having Laura, my brother David's wife, reached out to my wife, which was cool. And Laura seems like a really, really legit Christian, which is really great. I do pray for my brother David. I feel like the world, there's so many distractions in it that I think he's signed up for. It's hard to get a hold of him and have him want to have conversations and want to, tells me he's there for me, which is awesome. And I love that his heart is willing. Sometimes it's hard to watch that he's not really able to keep up with the commitments that I think if he would prioritize the relationships in his life a little more. And again, this is critical, of course, but I mean, we all have our stuff, and David just is an awesome dude, and to his face, I would be able to say these things. The reason I don't is because I think I want to encourage him, because when he is encouraged, he's such a bold and increasingly wise person. And it's just awesome. Anytime I get to encourage him and talk to him about really cool things, like he comes alive. And it reminds me of just, when they talk about in Isaiah, where he's in this valley and there's bones everywhere, and it talks about God like these dry bones, and he just talks about how, he puts the flesh on it, the bone and the sinew, or not the bone, but the sinew, and he just puts flesh on it, and he makes a man out of these dry bones. And watching David, when me and him get to talk about the Word of God, and seeing him like just come alive, like, man, it makes me want him to want it better, want it more. Sorry. What a cool thing. My little brother Daniel, he's selling his house on Cathedral, which is really neat. He's got some anger against my mom and my dad, which I think, I don't know if I'm going to get to have the relationship with them. They were really hurt when I went through my divorce. Jess got really close to my wife at the time, my ex-wife, and I think they've seen me be irresponsible and just self-destructive, how I was before I came to a true realization of the walk with Jesus. It's hard to come back from that, and so I don't blame them for being wary or whatever the word is of me. So I'm gonna start praying more about Daniel, and that I think it's hard to be him. He's in a career of firefighter, which is tough, and it's a place where, there aren't a lot of Christians. There are a lot of people who see really horrible things every day. And I think it's just a breeding ground for, resentment and anger. And so that's something that I'll try to keep an eye out for, and try to be respectful of him. And I don't get to I don't get to have these great conversations with Daniel, but I want to, and we'll see how that happens as God does things. So he's been really, really healing, and as you can see, Richard and David, he's been so incredibly healing for any faults that they have. It's just God has been really, really good. But my mom and me have gotten to have some really cool conversations. She prayed here in the office for us, which is, as stressed and frustrated as we are with work. She's just been really great to have her pray for me. And I think she's emboldened with, being able to see your kids getting closer and closer to God. So currently in the news, James Coates got arrested and thrown in jail for having church during COVID in Canada. So I sent him a letter. I'm gonna feel it out, see what's going on with it, and probably keep writing him. I want more than anything to be comforting to the people who are going through hard times. We had Marvin and Christina, Ben and Ashley. They've both had children, so hopefully we'll get to meet them soon, but we want to be a blessing to them as well as we go forward. It's been awesome. We've gotten to encourage Stu. He's one of my very, very best friends. He's a brother. He feels like a brother. He does. He has just been really, really encouraging, and I think he's been really, really encouraged. And he's just like, you give him just a little bit of encouragement, and he's like the dry bones again. He's just really, he will impress you with how excited and how forward he is. And I don't believe in spirit animals, but if he had one, it's definitely a dog. He's just a really loyal guy. You can put him to work and he works, or you can have him chill out and he chills out, and he hangs out and he makes jokes, and he just, I don't think there are a lot of places that get the best Stu because of the way they are, which is kind of terrible. And sometimes he talks to me about some of the stuff like at work or at the fire department or at the hospital, and like, I just go, man, if they would just give him the smallest amount of conversation, he would blow them away. And so really hope that he's still in our lives whenever this, if you are seeing this, Callie or Evie or my other children, I really hope that he's still around. Yeah. So on to the Evie and Callie front. Evie she's getting big. She's talking, she's saying things, she's climbing out of bed, so we're gonna have to get her into a bigger bed. She's got so much energy, and it was great. I had Dominic and Leslie over, and Gianna, they were holding up things to see if she knew colors, and we held up a red ball, and I show it to Evie. I was like, what color is this? And she goes, circle. And I was like, yes. Yes, you're so smart. The flashcards are working. And yeah, it was cool. And so we're learning our planets, and Evie loves her planets. She loves her planets. She likes Harry McClary, which is cool because Callie doesn't like Harry McClary. Every time I read Harry McClary to Callie, she's just like, on to other things. And I like Harry McClary because I get to read it and it's fun to read. And yeah, we're trying to get a bigger house so that Evie and Callie can both have their own rooms, which I don't think it's too bad if I put them together, because I really, really want Callie to, get to love on her little sister. And I want Evie to get to look up to Callie. I think it's going to be really cool. They're going to love being able to go back and forth between England and America. I would totally have dug that if I was, growing up. And I want America to be a really magical place for Callie. We are coming up on her 4th birthday. It is tough. I'm not getting much when it comes to being able to talk to her. I'm not gonna go into why I don't get to talk to her, but I get to basically once a week, depending on how things are. And then, but I'm going to see her. We were going to go for the 1st, but Sophie thought it would be a better idea if we didn't come for her birthday and came when lockdown eased. So we're going to do that. I haven't seen her in something like 2 years. Maybe like like a year and a half, maybe. Yeah, anyways. So it'll be awesome to see her. Tickets in a Airbnb was nearly $6,000. So it wipes me out when we go. But it's going to be super worth it, because if I go this time, then she can start coming to America with me instead of having to have Sophie's boyfriend, and Sophie's, getting her car for her and a place for her to live while she's here that's not anywhere near us. I don't have to do that anymore, which will be just the greatest thing. I can have Callie come over and not spend, several $1,000s to get extra to get her. So I'm really, really excited. Really excited. I have like a ton of things I want to do with her. I want to get swimming, and then when she comes over in July, which is the real goal, because I want to get her blowing up fireworks and doing all the really cool fun stuff in the summer, going all zoo. I'm so excited to see this kid. I wanna brush her hair, which is something I always wanted to do, because she's got the curls like me, and she seems so cool when I talk to her. And her mom says she's having some emotional stuff, and I just want to be a dad and get to hug her and hold on to her when she's crying. I'm not gonna hopefully she won't have a reason to cry, but if she does, I'm super ready for that. I'm ready to scoop her up and love on her, and I'm hoping Evie will be there and get to love on her too, and at least loves this kid. So I'm really excited. I'm really, really excited that Callie's I'm gonna get to see her very, very shortly. I gotta make some money so that when I go, I'm not starving. It pretty much wiped me out. I had to put some extra on the credit card. And while looking for a new house, it's kind of it's just tough, but God's been really, really good. He's provided both ways. And hopefully here in the next month or two, we'll be looking at getting a solid, home. Market's incredibly insane. Rates are really, really low. So, but that's kind of what's going on with Callie and Evie, my two little sweethearts. What I'm working on is, we did the videography, but I've been going to the gym. I'm down 4 pounds, which I know isn't, like a ton, but 4 pounds is pretty decent. Combined with I started eating keto. I really want to look good when I go to see Callie, because I don't want to have her see me go from like thin to like fat guy. And then, so I want to get back, down another, 15 pounds, hopefully by the time I go. It is the 8th today, so I've got like a month. So we'll keep up with that. I'm going 3 to 5 times a week, depending on what I can pull off. And it's been really good. I've been doing my Bible and worship while I'm working out, which has been really encouraging to me, and it's been really good for my days. Yeah, so that's what's going on now. Those are some updates. Just, I know I'm not exactly the most regular poster, and I'm not, the most entertaining, but I think it's really important just to have a record of, what God's doing, and just like how my walk and my relationships are going, because at some point I'm going to have to point at the evidence of Jesus Christ in my life, and I'm going to point to these and just say, hey, listen, like if you knew me back in the day, you get to see me now. Here's the difference. All right, Grandma's coming in, so if you guys want to see him, this is Grandpa.
Hi! 20 minutes.
What?
Gotta be there.
Where?
Lottie.
All right, take care.
Leamington.
Bye.